Peace. Good morning, Grand Rising. Welcome. I hope all is well in your life today, this morning, as you get up to prepare for what today has to offer. And today has to offer so much. It really depends on how we look at it and how we see it. All right? And so I'm hoping that it starts off well. You have your cup of coffee or tea or whatever it is that you do. And let's get this thing rolling. All right? I'm glad you're here. This is day 12, Irreplaceable Loss. Okay? Today, the affirmation, the word is irreplaceable loss. All right? Grief is love with nowhere to go. Wow, that's a profound statement. Grief is love with nowhere to go. All right? We've lost somebody. If you've ever lost somebody, and we all have significant in our lives, and what do we do with that energy? How do we recover? How long, what kind of pain does it cause us? Trauma? Do we ever fully recover? Write about something or someone you lost that shaped you forever. All right? Think about it. Something or someone that you've lost that shaped you forever. If you're an adult and you lost a child, I'm pretty sure that was very traumatic for you, because we always know our children should bury us. But it doesn't always happen that way. And sometimes it's the other way around. And just the thought of it, of losing a child, is very, very tremendous. If you are an adult and you've lost one of your parents early in life, and they didn't get a chance to see you graduate, and they didn't get a chance to see you get married, and they didn't get a chance to see all that you achieved, and they didn't get a chance to see their grandchildren. And so those losses, they mean something. If you lost a cat or a turtle, and it really shocked you as a child, because at that time you really have no concept, or a very blurred concept, of what life and death really is. And your first attachment may have been to a goldfish or something, and your parents had to kind of sit you down and and explain to you how this thing works. You know what I mean? And so just to make mention of that, this when you lose something you love, whether it's a person or a thing, how does it affect you? I've seen people not recover at all from losing a loved one. They just changed, you know what I'm saying? And they never recovered. I personally, if you read my book, Gotta Laugh to Keep from Crying, you can pre-order it at Amazon right now, by Dwayne Bowser. I speak about Elijah being born on one Friday, and my mother transitioning the next Friday. And me, because Eli was born prematurely and he was fighting his own battle, when I laid my mother to rest, so to speak, I had to come right back and deal with his fight for life, and didn't have time to fully grieve a parent, especially the parent that took care of you, raised you, brought you through some wars. You know what I'm saying? Your mother, you know what I mean? But when I looked back on those photos of that time, I could clearly see the stress that I was going through. I could clearly see the pain that I was suffering. And remember, when you don't have a chance to explode, you implode. And that became the accelerated process in which I lost my kidneys. All right? So that, accelerated the process, and I never, ever fully recovered or had the time to grieve properly. And so those who lose someone, my wife just lost her mother. And so it's important. I had a secret meeting with the children. Let's sit down and let's allow mommy grace. Let's allow her to be short-tempered. Let's allow her to emotionally not be here. Let's allow her to let her hair go, or things we're not used to seeing, because everyone grieves differently, all right? What loss still echoes in your life today? These are just some of the questions before you start journaling as you're reflecting that you can ask yourself. How does grief reshape your identity or outlook? How has grief reshaped your identity or outlook? What small ways can you honor what was lost while still living fully? And, one thing I told my mother on her deathbed was that I will continue to uphold her name. And the greater I do, because I was the one thing in her life she felt that she got right. She didn't feel she got a lot right because, again, she was, caught in the drugs early and this and that. But every time I shined, it made her feel proud. So I made sure I represented her in the greatest light, and I continue till this day. And a lot of you can relate to that. You just want to make your parents proud. You know what I mean? They're not here, but you know that they're in here in spirit and things of that nature. And so those are some of the things you can ask. Loss does not mean love is gone. It means love has changed form. Every tear is a conversation with what still lives in your heart. And so I have an altar set up for my mother. You don't have to be into any spookism. And when I say an altar, it's just a picture of her, a glass of water, a beer, because that was her favorite, and a pack of cigarettes. Because I know those are the things that if she wanted to come in this mix, that she loved while she was in the physical realm. And we're just paying homage. You pour out a little liquor to your dead homie or this and that. It's the same concept. And so a small altar, the altar could be in your mind, because anything outside of you technically is just a reminder or anchor that you can use to understand that all magic is mental. Everything is mental that we're dealing with. And so that's the way I honor my mother. All right? And so it's something to think about. The hero's note is, through loss, though loss marked me, love still lives within me. All right? And loss changes the landscape of our hearts. It arrives quietly at first, a phone call, a goodbye, a silence, and then nothing is ever the same. And so when you finally, whatever the last rites is of your parents or your children or your spouse, then that nothingness needs to be filled with something, because that's the space in which this thing becomes very tough. Grief is the echo of love that no longer has a destination. It can feel endless, like an ache that never fully leaves, but grief is also sacred. It proves that we care deeply, that we dared to love at all. And every child's love is his mother. That's their first love, male or female in most cases. And when we lose them, we do lose a part of ourselves. But every time I think about an amazing moment me and my moms may have had, it secretes something in my bloodstream, and I laugh and I giggle, and that's, sort of my way of getting through it. Today, remember the person, place, or part of yourself that you lost. Let yourself feel it without rushing to fix it. Honor it, name it. So basically, you want to embrace it. You want to know that it happened. Yeah, it happened, but I'm honoring the love that we had, the respect that we had, the moments that we had, the time that we had together. And I'll always hold that sacred and those memories. And a lot of times, music is very important, because it becomes a time marker. You can hear a song, like the minute Al Green come on, I know I immediately think about my dad, because that was his favorite artist. My mother loved Gladys Knight and the Pips and those songs that would play Saturday morning while we were getting up trying to get things together. And so sometimes it's a song that enables me to fully immerse myself in that love in those moments. All right. And then you're going to ask yourself, where does the love go now? Maybe it becomes kindness to others. Maybe it becomes wisdom, empathy, or art, right? Sometimes you express it in your art. My book, because I'm a writer, was art, and I was honoring my mother, even though I revealed some truths, because she wouldn't have it any other way. I wasn't going to make a phony book and make her seem like something she was not. She had her faults, but this book was in honor of her, and in honor of my cousin Kenneth, who passed away, and in honor of everyone I met along the way. All right, so that's how we do that, right? Love never disappears, it only transforms. Write today as an act of remembrance and of living again. Okay, so that's going to be the assignment. Write today as an act of remembrance and of living again. And so as you writing in, maybe one of them special thoughts about your mother that you always remember, that brings you closer from the physical realm to the spiritual realm, because let's be honest, energy never dies. So our parents and all of our ancestors live within us vicariously. I am because we are. And so they just take on a different form. But when you call their name, or you pay homage, or you write something down, they feel that energy, because they no longer have an avatar or a so-called physical body to feel, but that energy they can feel. Your grief is not a weakness. It's proof of your capacity to love. Carry the love forward. It still has work to do through you. At the end of the day, man, it's really all about love. I know they did a survey recently, and I was very surprised that love wasn't the highest vibration on the planet. It was actually authenticity, being your authentic self. You know what I mean? And that's something we'll delve into. I'm pretty sure one of these affirmations will kind of deal with that. But love is right up there. Love conquers hate. And I didn't understand what Dr. King was talking about as a kid, because I'm like, if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back, and this and that, and I get that. But he was trying to impose a vibration so high that his enemy had to wither at it. And he died fighting for it, but all due respect, right? And so as we get older, the wisdom kicks in about a lot of things we just didn't understand. And with that being said, I'm going to say live, learn, laugh, and love. I love you. I hope you love yourself. And I can't wait for us to get on to day 13 or 14. I believe tomorrow is day 13. Yes, we get to that. Peace.